Hello everyone, welcome back to Coach Craig Sports. Today is Wednesday, February 10th. We're going to be going over my favorite DFS picks for today on both FanDuel and Draft Kings. But before we get started, we're going to look at yesterday's picks real quick. So on the Draft Kings side, we had DeJounte Murray, $6,500. He only ended up with 14.5 points, so that was definitely a miss. That one really hurt yesterday. Coming off that monster game, he just looked lost. But the rest of our picks over on DraftKings were really good. Hopefully that kind of bailed you out if you pick the right guys to go along with these five. Bruce Brown, $3,800, 28.75 points. Definitely a major hit there. Then next up we had Sterling Brown, $3,200, 28.5 points. So major hit there once again. Jeremy Grant, 47.25 points for $7,000. Definitely a hit there. And Joel Embiid, like I said, we're looking to get over that 53 point. Hopefully into that 55 to 60 point range. He got 62.75, so he was a monster hit as well. And then on the FanDuel side, wasn't as kind to us. Cole Anthony, 6.8 points. He was definitely a miss. He ended up getting hurt in this game, so he only played about 14 minutes. Kind of sucks to hear that. It's just a rough night overall. I had Cole Anthony in a lot of my lineups, so that really hurt me individually. Hopefully it didn't hurt you guys quite as much. Lonnie Walker, $3,500, 5.6 points. He was a miss. But I did say on my video, left a comment that said Lonnie Walker is not starting. He's going to have a minutes limit. Get away from him. Try to pivot to Devin Vassell, who's going to be starting in his place. Vassell played 24 minutes, ended up with 15.2 points for $3,600. It's kind of a push there, but probably didn't kill you if you had the right lineup along with him. Joe Ingles, $4,500, 35.6 points. Definitely a monster hit there. Julius Randle, $9,000. Rough shooting day for him, 29.1 points. He was definitely a miss. The only good thing about this is power forward position yesterday was not very good overall. And then DeMarcus Cousins, once again, man, he let us down. But they only let him play 22 minutes. He wasn't in there at the end of the game. I don't know what's going on with this coaching staff, but he's definitely a miss, 20.4 points. Hopefully it gets better, but I think we're going to fade him for a little while until we see that minutes go back up. So we're going to get over to the injuries for today, talk about the notable ones. For Toronto, it looks like OG Anunoby is questionable. He has a chance to play if he plays. I probably wouldn't throw him in right away. If he doesn't play, Norman Powell is definitely back in play. Kyle Lowry left that last game with back spasms. He does not have any tag on him as of right now. Just keep an eye out on that one. Nothing new for the Wizards. They're all pretty much healthy. For Atlanta, same guys out pretty much. Rajon Rondo's on there as well. Dallas is completely healthy. Go over to the Clippers. Paul George is going to be out in this one once again. Patrick Beverly is questionable. He does have a chance to play in this one. They're kind of projecting him that way. We'll see if that ends up happening or not. For Minnesota's side, D'Angelo Russell, he's questionable. They have him in as playing. I don't think he ends up playing, though. Keep an eye out on him. Keep an eye out on Karl Anthony Towns, even though I don't think he's going to be playing once again. Then the Pacers are the same as normal. And Brooklyn's still missing Kevin Durant. Then the Hornets are still going to be without Devontae Graham. Memphis is still Brandon Clark and DeAndre Melton for the newer guys. Everybody else has kind of been out for a little while. Pelicans are completely healthy. The Bulls, same guys out as the last game. Lauri Markkanen's been listed as 2 to 4 weeks out with his shoulder injury. Otto Porter Jr. still out, and Wendell Carter's still out as well. Cleveland, same guys out as before. Then the Nuggets, they have Campazzo is questionable, likely to play. Dozier, Harris still out once again. Oklahoma City Thunder, this is the game we need to be looking at. You'll see that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is out now. Mike Muscala is still out with a concussion. Maledon's out. Hill's out. Ariza hasn't played all year. Ty Jerome, they do have listed as questionable, so he could make his appearance for the first time this year, I do believe. But we're going to be looking at a lot of guys on this list. Like Kenrich Williams, Lou Dort. I know he did let us down the last time, but him, Baisley. It looks like Isaiah Roby's going to be back in this one as well. Then on the Lakers side, they have LeBron James listed as questionable, likely to play. Anthony Davis questionable once again. Caruso's questionable. I think Caruso probably misses once again. Anthony Davis, I think, is going to be back. I would not be surprised if LeBron sits this game out. Played over 40-plus minutes the last 2 games. Then the big one for the night slate, Milwaukee Bucks, Drew Holiday. He's on the COVID list. I do believe that he did test positive, so he's going to be out for a while. Opens up some massive values here on both sides with Dante DiVincenzo, Bryn Forbes, even Middleton and Antetokounmpo as well. Then on the Sun side, the major thing that we're looking for is that Chris Paul injury. Crowder could be back, Nader could be back, but they're not as big a picture for us. Cameron Payne, Dario Saric out once again. So if Chris Paul's out, Devin Booker gets a massive bump again. Each one more, he's definitely in play if he starts once again. But we're going to get over to DraftKings, talk about our picks for today. So these are going to be my favorite plays at point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and center on DraftKings. So first off, we got Russell Westbrook, $8,400. This is probably one of the cheapest prices he's going to be all year. So I like taking that shot there. It goes against Toronto. They're kind of middle of the pack in terms of defense. You're looking for about 42 points from him. If you get closer to that 50-point mark, you see he's averaging 47 points per game on DraftKings. If you get anywhere near that, he's definitely going to pay off, give you that over 5 times value return. Bryn Forbes, $3,800. Moved into the starting lineup last time. So he played 26 minutes the last game. He had 32.75 fantasy points. You know, he's a capable shooter, especially in terms of three-point shooting. So if he gets a little bit of other stats along with his three-point shooting, definitely could pay off. You know, you're looking for 20-plus points out of him, $3,800, definitely a value there. Lou Dort, $4,400. You're looking for 22 points out of him. I think he gives you that 25 to 30-point upside. As long as he doesn't get in foul trouble like last time, as long as he's productive, he's definitely going to pay off. Isaiah Roby, he's on the same team, $3,700. For $3,700, you really only need 18 fantasy points. He's averaging more than that on his own. I think he gets you 20, 25, maybe even 30 in this game. Just depends on how many minutes he does end up playing. Then last but not least, we got Giannis Antetokounmpo. I do have him listed as our center. Him and Roby are kind of interchangeable. If you guys want to play another center with this core, you can definitely do that as well. But Giannis, you know, without Drew Holiday, you know, he already gets a massive usage as it is, and it's just going to be even greater without, you know, your lead guard in Drew Holiday. So he's definitely a guy I'm interested in. Price came down a little bit, so you're looking for 53 points out of him. Definitely has a chance to get you over 60 once again. Goes against the Phoenix Suns. They really don't have anybody capable of defending him between DeAndre Ayton and if they're still going to be starting Frank Kaminsky. If those two guys are playing, you know, close to 30 minutes, it's going to be a very, very good game for Giannis. But with that being said, these are my DraftKings picks for today. If you go with these 5 guys, you have $19,100 left over. Definitely enough room to pay up for another stud and then find some value alongside there. I think there's going to be quite a bit of value today overall. We got a little bit already on this slate that we're looking at, and then just keep your eyes out as always for that news coming out. Definitely going to open some value later on in the day. Then we'll move over to FanDuel. And on FanDuel, it was a little bit rough for us yesterday. Hopefully you can bounce back today. At point guard position, I got Malcolm Brogdon. You know, $7,200. I think that's probably one of the cheapest prices he's been all year. He's had a couple of rough games in a row, but, you know, he goes against Brooklyn today. You're looking for about 36 fantasy points out of him. He averages 39, so good chance that he does end up getting there. If you get 40 out of him for that price tag, definitely going to pay off for you. It's definitely going to give you a little bit of an advantage over some of these higher price point guards that probably get about the same amount of points. Then we have Dante DiVincenzo, $4,700. You know, you're looking for about 24 fantasy points out of him. He averages 22, but he's getting more of that responsibility, kind of as that primary ball handler, kind of playing the point guard position now with Drew Holiday out. Probably getting a little bit extra minutes as well. Let's see how many minutes he did play last time out. So last time he played 30 minutes, and he got you 38 fantasy points. So you definitely saw a little bit of a usage, a little bit of spike in his numbers there. He's definitely a guy that can get you, you know, close to 30 points. And if he gets you 28 or so, his price tag is definitely not as much as it should be for a guy in his situation right now. I expect it to go over $5,200 the next time we have another slate come out. So take advantage of the value while it's there. Him and Booker, they're actually in the same game, but they're probably going to be my 2 primary shooting guard plays for today. Then we got each one more, $3,800, just above the minimum price tag. If Chris Paul doesn't play again, you only need 19 fantasy points for him to pay off in this one. Last time he gave you over 30. So if you get 25 out of him, 30, he's definitely going to be a major boost, definitely going to help fill out your lineup elsewhere by giving you some massive, massive value. And on today's slate, a 9-game slate like this is the type of play that you need in your lineup. Then at power forward, I went with Serge Ibaka. I'm not too crazy about the power forwards on the FanDuel side. I think Giannis is definitely a good pay-up option. Some of the other guys are fairly priced or slightly overpriced. Serge, I think, has the ability to get to 30 points in this game. Between him and Zubac, one of them is going to go off tonight against Minnesota. Minnesota has really struggled against that center position in recent games. You saw Kristaps Porzingis go over 60 fantasy points the last time out. There's been a couple other big performances against them as well. Ibaka's not quite the mold that probably does his best against them, but I think for $5,700, you're looking for about 28 fantasy points. I think he has a good chance of getting you that or more. And then I think it's also important, if you're not playing him in the lineup, consider Zubac at that center position as well. I believe he's $5,500 on FanDuel. Both these guys are in play on DraftKings as well. I believe Ibaka is $5,400 over there, and I think Zubac is $5,100. In a format where you can roster two centers, definitely guys that you can consider in play. And then lastly at center, we got Big Al Horford. And he's going to play a massive role in this game. He had a little bit of a downtime the last couple of times out, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was in. Tonight they will not have a traditional point guard once again. Probably Diallo getting most of the ball handling duties, a little bit of Kendrick Williams, but you could see a little bit more of 35-year-old point center Al Horford. I know it sounds weird, but if you look back at that game where they didn't have SGA, Al Horford was a beast. He had almost 60 fantasy points. I'm not suggesting that he had 60 that much again today. Kind of boosted up by this block and steal ratio there. You got 5 there, so you got 15 extra points. But if he can give you 20 points, like 6 rebounds, 5 assists, and then maybe a steal or a block, he's definitely going to pay off for the price tag that he's giving you. And on a slate like today, I'm not as inclined to pay up for center today. I know you got guys like Nikola Jokic at the top. He's definitely a great play, but he takes up a lot of your budget. And I think today you're going to have to pay up at a couple different positions, maybe power forward, maybe point guard. You're going to need a mid-range price center overall. And I think Al Horford is one of the guys that you should definitely consider in that range. Like I said, Zubac's definitely in there as well. I kind of like DeAndre Jordan tonight too. He's $5,100. Cody Zeller is definitely in that price range, $5,200. Steven Adams, $5,200. There's a lot of great choices in between that, like $5,100 to $6,200 price range. So just kind of go through, mix and match those guys as you go on. But Al Horford's definitely one of my favorites to get to. But with that being said, these are my FanDuel picks for today, my core 5. And if you will go with these 5 guys, you have $32,400 remaining, about $8,100 per player. That's definitely a lot of room to spend up. You're going to spend up at that point guard position. You can get a good point guard here. You can get Devin Booker in the shooting guard. Hopefully you can get Giannis in that power forward position. Pay down a small forward, and you can have a pretty competitive lineup for pretty good value as well. But with that being said, these are my favorite picks at the point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and center position on both FanDuel and DraftKings. Once again, hopefully you guys all enjoyed these picks. If you guys have any comments at all, any of picks that you guys like, be sure to share them down in the comments below. As always, if you guys have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. Definitely here to help you guys out. But with that being said, if you guys are new to my channel and you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing. Greatly appreciate it. It really helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports. And that's really one for you, the viewers, helping you guys with your fantasy football, DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL, and then covering all the football news that's going to be happening this offseason. As we move forward towards baseball season, we'll be talking some fantasy baseball as well. But with that being said, if you're a new or current subscriber who's yet to do so, also hit that notification bell down below. It lets you know every single time I post up a new video. And with that being said, I'm going to be doing the NBA DFS every day. Going to be making a fantasy football video probably later today, talking about my bold predictions, some of them that panned out for this year and some of them that did not, and just doing a quick recap over that. So if you guys are interested in that, definitely be sure to check that out as well once it's posted. With that being said, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions about NBA DFS for today, be sure to let me know. I will be posting down in the comments news updates as we get them throughout the day, confirm starting lineups like I kind of did yesterday, just to help you guys out throughout the day. But with that being said, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video and have a great rest of your day.